you said something. You said it's not that we want to lose black lives, but that's not what the real issue is, right? The shootings and violence and all that stuff. It's the lack of opportunity, pretty much what you said, that we have. I agree with you on that, and I think if we start taking a more proactive approach instead of a reactive approach to serving our community, we can truly see some change. And what do I mean by that? Instead of having access to marijuana and cocaine and a firearm to go make money, how about we give you financial literacy for free? How about we give you a loan for $5,000 if you come up with a comprehensive business plan, and we give you a mentor or an investor that can help you develop your business at the age of 17, 18 years old.
Right.
So when you start thinking about making money, you say, look, I can go to this business school for free. If I can come up with my comprehensive business plan, if I can complete these courses, I get linked up with my mentor who's a successful entrepreneur, black male, black woman. They'll give me $5,000 to $10,000 in a grant, and I can start my business and I can start making money that way instead of the big homie giving me a pound of weed and a gun.
Right.
Let's have an honest conversation because I'm in this community. We have our access to guns and drugs.
It's crazy. It's not hard at all. You get it from.
It is not hard to get a gun or to get a pound of weed, but it's hard for you to get a college degree and to get a loan to start your business. Yeah. And then we run around and wonder why our kids go to the other side, go to the streets instead of going on the right path. There's so many barriers in place.
It's almost, and that's where the setup starts to become a thing. And I talked about this on my podcast too, about the just the prison system in America and how everything just leads you to it. And it gives incentives for people to lock people up for a long time because the prisons then get paid and people own those prisons. People are invested in those prisons. And so the people who
private
are invested
citizens
in those,
like you and I
exactly
can come together and own a prison.
And then that prison can have a minimum, like a mandatory minimum of people that need to be in it. It has to be at 80% occupancy. So to fill that prison up and keep it at 80% occupancy, it's much easier to do it with black bodies than it is white ones. Because a lot of times we just don't know certain things that can protect us in certain situations. That plus people just care less when it's a black person. It's easier to give a black person 3 years than it is a white person. It just is for the same crime.
Just like it's easier to give a black family $300,000 or $12 million or $10 million when police kill us versus giving a white family $25 million. And here's the point I'm trying to make on that. It's the value of black life across the board. Across the board, the value of black lives is low. Yeah. It doesn't even compare to the value of other people's lives.
No, yeah, I agree 100%.
It's been a pleasure having you on the show. I think we have a lot of similarities and commonalities, and I would love to have you back on as a guest. Especially after the election, I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about.
We're going to have a big conversation after the election. I don't know what's going to happen.
I really want to appreciate your ability to think objectively, to remove that emotional factor, and to think from a perspective of logic and your open-mindedness. I think we need more black men specifically to have that certain level of willingness to look at other aspects of things and not just take in information and just respond, right? But to take in that information and go out and look for the other supplemental information and then having the ability to sit back, analyze, and make a well-informed decision. I appreciate that. I think it's going to be that type of thought that's going to progress our community, our people a lot further.
For sure.
We have a long way to go as people, man, as black Americans. We have a long way to go. And I hope people don't ever misconstrue my criticisms of the Democratic Party or Joe Biden or all these other institutions that have existed to support black people. I hope they don't misconstrue my criticisms of them as me not acknowledging that they're trying, but they're not really doing it in an intentional and purposeful way, in my opinion. And I'm going to continue to call that out. And I hope they don't misconstrue it, more importantly, as an endorsement for racism, Trump, and the Trump people who are in his camp at all.
Right. And I believe if you look into it, the facts support what you say. So if you can take yourself away from it and look at it objectively, you will find that, nobody really, people have been, especially on the Democratic Party, saying they care, but if you look at it, they don't. So we just got to work at it together in terms of what we can get for our votes then. because if no one's gonna care, we the only people that's gonna care about each other. So we got to put it together now.
November 3rd is less than 2 weeks away, folks. Get out there and vote. I'm not going to tell you to vote one way or another. I'm going to tell you to vote in your best interest. Vote in the interest of your community. If you're a Black American, start asking those tough questions when you get in front of these candidates. Ask them, what is their plan to progress Black Americans? That's a simple, straightforward question. What is your plan to progress Black America? I don't want to hear about BIPOC. I don't want to hear about POC.
Right.
I don't want to hear about your diversity plan. I want to hear about what is your plan to progress the most victimized, marginalized, disenfranchised group of people in this country, which is the American descendants of enslaved.
Right.
And that's a fact.
10 out of 10. I completely agree.
You can still do early voting. You should already have. If you requested your mail-in ballot weeks ago, you should have it already. You probably have 5 of them because they've been
right, I'm saying.
in the mail. Only submit one of them.
Yeah, it's gonna get interesting for sure. I can't wait.
Only submit one ballot. And more importantly, encourage your neighbors to vote. If you're an elder, encourage the young people to vote. If you're a parent and you have a child that's over the age of 18 years old, encourage them to vote. This election is going to change America, for better or for worse. It's going to change America. This is going to be a huge election.
Yeah, for sure.
And then prepare yourselves for what's to come after that election.
That's what I'm...
Because I think for whoever side is the victor, there's going to be some chaos.
A lot of backlash. I think so. So, make sure y'all ready. I don't know if y'all care about y'all Second Amendment, but I do. Just make sure y'all
and you've
ready.
seen those videos on YouTube from those right-wingers.
Oh, yeah,
Trump
they ready.
supporters.
They ready to keep them in office by force. People are ready.
And they said that.
Yeah. So
I believe people when they say they're going to cause harm to people.
Yeah, always do. You got to.
Always believe them. There's a bunch of crazy people on both sides. Prepare yourselves. Protect your families. Be safe. And I hope that we're going to get back to the point where we can love each other just as humans.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be optimistic about that, Trey. I really am. It's hard, though.
It is. It is. It seems to be more and more division, unfortunately. But, we've gotten to the point where we've tried. We've extended our little branch. We've been trying for years. So now we have to make sure that we care for each other at this point. And whether that be, secluded areas where we have our own cities, communities, towns, whatever that may be. We just got to do what we got to do now because we got to make sure that we survive. That's all it is.
Black Americans, love your fellow Black American, all right? Love each other. It's okay to love your people and not hate everyone else.
Right.
Just because I love my people doesn't mean I hate anybody else.
Right.
I just have a deep love, admiration for my people because we are strong. And I just want to reiterate that. We are strong. We're going to persevere through this madness, y'all.